More Lord of the Rings soundtrack, chat. Always, always, always.
And you are looking as lovely as ever.
Dan and jam, 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 dan and jam.
No, big jammin'. Big jammin'. Thank you, Saf. For the 24 months at tier 3, 32 months in total. Chat, that is 4 months from 3 years. 3 years I've known Seth, almost. And she is now my fiance. Pretty big, pretty big. Jeez, can we get some sheesh in the chat? Sheesh! Sheesh! No, it's up silent! Alright. Alright, I'm back, I'm here. Alright, we have VOD reviews. I think, honestly, though, we probably only have... Ooh. Codes did... Codes might have gotten wiped. I don't actually know. But, I think this one didn't, you know? So we're gonna give it a check. Fingers crossed. Hopefully. Alright, let's see. 25 minutes, chat. 25-minute game. PlayStation 5, Kiriko, Diamond 3... on Circuit Royale. Look. Yep. Pull it up. Let's pull it up. Pull it up. We're looking at Zomnums. Alright, Zomnums.
Kiriko,
Zomnums.
I really need your help.
What's wrong?
I lost this week's Lucky Good Luck amulet.
There. I'll pray for you later.
Well, we can see that there's stick drift. So, very beginning, I would say just... maybe if we have the availability, maybe go to GameStop, get yourself a new controller. If you're going to be playing Overwatch a bunch, buy that protection plan, because it's probably going to, you know, be affected within 1 year. And then you can just keep on doing that for like, it's like $10 a controller instead of so much. How we doing, Starcrow? We're doing pretty good. Just looking at some Kiriko gameplay here. Okay.
My gift to you.
So honestly, your team is pretty much like at this point. Who else we have? All right, so you have an Ana and you have a Kiri. So if you're playing Ana Kiri in this you know, gameplay or game format, you probably know that the Ana is going to be primarily healing, so you actually should be looking for more attacks because you're going to have the pick potential. So rather than trying to heal your Diva, who's probably going to be playing in a relatively safe zone right now, you should be trying to look for picks, turret destruction, really anything you can to apply pressure in this scenario, rather than just healing your Diva here. Yeah, so looking for stuff like this. And then now that she's crit, we'll do this. Teleport there is probably unnecessary, but at least it rotated us up to this high ground. And then, yeah, I think that's good pressure. It looks like a lot of the... looks like a big thing we're struggling with is just seems to be, like... I guess aim. It's just really hard for us to hit kunai. Another thing I'm seeing is like you're constantly being caught out in positions that are basically making you get attacked like instantly. And I think that's causing you to use your Suzu, which you probably could use for someone else. So I think something that you probably need to work on is trying to use your, trying to not be in positions that are going to force you out of Suzu. Whether that means like stay, you know, you're playing like up here and you're getting shot by the Ash. If you backed up a little bit so you were like head glitching, probably would have been safer because then you can just take 1 or 2 more steps back and you wouldn't even be seen. But I think you're you might be using the Suzu for yourself a little too selfishly, and not for your teammates, and that can be an issue. Okay, here we're shooting at a tank. There we go. Yeah, like, even here, right? Yeah, perfect. Suzu there was kind of unneeded. I do like that we're switching up a little bit, but it doesn't seem to really matter too much, and we're definitely focusing on this tank way too much when we are shooting. Remember, like, 2 headshots basically kills any squishy, so rather than aiming at the tank so much, we really should just be trying to do something or anything to these squishies to maybe get a pick here and there. But yeah, it looks like you're basically shooting at the tank no matter what chance you get, and he's at full health, so it's really not going to do anything. Nice. See, like, there we go. I just want to see us, like, do more duels and fights like that. But you're just, like, in a lot of this, you were just constantly shooting the tank.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to move up here. Cool. Like, another thing that you probably could have done is at some point go over here and be able to, like, pressure up here a little bit, you know? Provide some kind of pressure here, and then you can teleport back to your team out here. But that seems to be a flank that you're not really taking or considering either.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Nice. Yeah, aim could need work, but again, that might be just the stick drift. Nice.
What did we learn? Like a gentle rain. I needed that.
Probably didn't need a drop from that high ground. I think dropping from your high ground there actually ruined a lot of your sight lines, because you basically ended up behind this thing when you probably could have just stayed up where you were, you know, right here, threw it down, and then went back to attacking from this high ground. I don't really think it was necessary to drop there. I think it made you miss a lot more of Fuda than you know, needed to.
You take a lot of damage.
Nice. Cool. There, I'd probably teleport up with your Genji, actually. Since it is just an Ashe. But good shots. Good shots. Team kill. Nice. Yeah, so now that we have a team kill, let's try and get more, like... I'd probably try and position yourself on, like, an aggressive flank. So, like, you could be over here attacking. And then at some point, you're probably going to need to just TP out to your teammates with the Swift Step. So... I'd try to find a aggressive angle here. Here seems a little bit too frontliney, where you can get just pressured out from just a lot of spam. But over here, you can find some kind of off-angle pick, and then you can just teleport out to your team if you start getting pressured out. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Another reason why I like the side angle is, like, Sigma just put a shield up and stopped everything. If you're on the side, at least... like, your diva can still be shooting and stuff. There's another... This is another Suzu that we just didn't care about ourselves. Like, you have two things. You have you, who's at 61 health, but in a safe position. And you have a diva that's critical and about to get comboed to death. And this is the situation where you decide to Suzu yourself rather than throwing at your teammate, even though you know you're in a safe position. So a big thing for you is really just try and position yourself so you're not in these positions that are basically causing you to use your Suzu on yourself, because you're doing it many times and you're doing it aggressively. And if you're using it to Suzu yourself, you're probably in a bad position. Because most of the time that you're caught in a bad position like this, you can probably just swift step to someone else and you'll be safe. But you're just doing it way too much to like save yourself when you probably just need better positioning to save yourself.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, and your diva goes down, so this team fight's already lost. There's another Suzu on ourselves because we just don't swift step to keep ourselves alive. Like, it really is just you're Suzuing yourself way too much. Because you're getting caught in these open space, bad positions where you probably just need a little bit better positioning and you won't need Suzu for yourself.
Okay, I learned from that.
You can just swift step. There's the stick drift again. Unlucky.
I'm with you. Like a gentle rain.
Nice. Heal your Ana. Heal your Ana. Heal your Ana. Yeah, your Ana should not be this low. Look at you just not looking at your Ana this entire time, forcing her to waste her abilities. Like, she got the kill. You're right there. She's on fire. She has to heal herself with her nade. And then here she has to peek out and she ends up dying to the turret. All because you just didn't look at her to heal her. So yeah, both supports are dead in this fight, so that you just lose this fight. I think. I'd be surprised if somehow you won that fight. And like, you saw the Ana too. It's not even like, oh, I didn't see the Ana. Like, we can see her on the left side of the screen right here, critical, and you just like, you just think like she's gonna be okay. So,
Done playing around.
kind of unfortunate. Is this us Suzuing ourselves again because we're in a bad position? No, we did use it to save Diva, so that's good. Probably didn't need to walk. Could have just probably waited for the 2 seconds to swift step. Yeah, I don't know if I would teleport right into that either. Just didn't seem necessary.
Activating self-destruct
Okay.
sequence.
Here's another example of us just Suzuing ourselves again when we're behind cover in a good find position. You just need to stop doing that. It's basically taking your entire huge impact of utility out of the game. You just shouldn't be heavily relying on it this much. Like, I want you to try and not use it as often, because you just need to get better position for it, so that when you are using it, it's to greatly benefit your team. Even there, like, you could have easily, after a few shots, teleported back to your team rather than using it to get you to teleport out. Like, you should be, if you have to use both abilities in order to get yourself safe, you're doing it wrong. You just need to use the swift step to get yourself to safety. Like, even here, like, no, we have it, we just didn't use it on our teammates here. Might have been able to use it on them to keep them safe, but we just didn't. They probably would have died anyways, though.
60 seconds.
A lot of open space transitions too, rather than just like swift stepping to teammates. Even here, like what is this Suzu for? I'm a little confused. Like your whole team's already kind of full health or whatever. You don't really need it there. And then you decide to just run out and peek a window, which again, like, could have waited for someone to get to some kind of space. Like even where they're at here, you could have just swift stepped here rather than trying to walk through where they're going to be able to shoot you as you walk through. It's just things like that where we're just like not using our abilities to get us to good positions.
Time to get clever.
Nice, I like the pressure here. It's a good ultimate. Could have Suzu'd there on the Bastion, but just didn't. Walking through. Looks like we just miss a teleport there. Definitely was not the target to teleport to the Diva. Probably should have teleported to where the Genji was at, since he was a little bit less to things. And then you panic here. Teleport to the Diva. At this point, yeah, the Bob's going to shoot you if you aren't, you know, in a good spot. So you just kind of do get caught out here.
What's up?
Could have been a little bit more aggressive on the Sigma, though. You might have been able to kill him before he shot you. But yeah, I mean, it's looking to me, common theme here is literally just we're Suzuing ourselves way too much. Because our positioning is too heavily reliant on it.
Thanks.
Yeah, she was safe. I know that was a tough call. I probably would have done it a little earlier if I was gonna Suzu that, but she was safe. Okay, you gotta kill the immortality field though. You can't just let that exist and not kill anyone. Okay, nice. On his low, please heal her on. Yep. All right, cool. See how defense goes. I have a feeling it's just gonna be more like we're Suzuing ourselves a ton. Like even here, right? Why? Okay, I mean that was good because you actually did stay in the duel. You probably also didn't need to Suzu that though, but good on you.
How embarrassing. Under my protection. Hey, carried on the wind.
Genji's low. Alright, everyone's full health. We can attack more. We can attack more. Okay. I'm kind of okay with this positioning too. I like the aggression. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, on defense it looks like we're a little bit better at, you know, the Suzus. You just watched as an M-Ray was crit on you and he died because he literally just didn't get any heals. Like right here, he's crit. So in this moment, instead of like trying to focus so much on a, you know, Sigma Gravitic fluxing, you really just have to keep an eye on him. You should have been able to heal this guy. He's right next to you. But he dies to Moira and Sigma first. From you, because he didn't get any heals. Oh, and then we die. Oh, that's rough. Okay. Yeah, as soon as you got stunned there, I would have teleported out, but I don't know why you're going so aggressive here,
Gentle rain.
forwarding into her. Like, you're in the Kitsune here. You probably could have just stayed over here or even back here a little bit and applied pressure. I don't know why you're trying to, like, run straight into a Brig. I don't think that's really a good call on you, because it just caused this whole counterattack. If you had a distance to her or you had high ground over her, she wouldn't be able to do that.
Let's get back to it.
You need this.
What's up? I think we're outnumbered.
Did we just get run over again here, too? How did we get in this?
What's up?
Yeah. Rough. That's just unfortunate. That's a good wombo combo.
Under my protection.
Yeah, even here, I mean, like, you have the ability to wall climb, so rather staying down with everyone else, I don't know why you're not, like, climbing up here to potentially help with stuff. Over here is kind of fine, too. It's just you lost sight of your diva where she was at. Yeah, I think on defense, we're just not taking really aggressive off angles, you know? Like, we had one good duel in the beginning, and that was about it.
Now go get it.
I think you kind of need to do a little bit more aggressive off angles, because again, it just seems very linear, very pokey, and Sigma is pretty much able to just put one thing up and stop it all. Here we are just Wing forward into a team while we're low health. You just use both of your abilities, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just walk on you. Okay.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Okay.
Protecting.
Again there, like, we're getting shot, but, like, what is this Suzu? Why do we need to Suzu this? What, if you're gonna just teleport out, why do you need a Suzu? Just teleport out, save the Suzu, use the Suzu for something else. You don't need it here.
Protecting.
Like, your diva might like it there, you know? Or you just hold on to it. Because now you're up here, in the midst of everything, don't have a Suzu, almost die to Immortal Orb because you didn't have Suzu. You literally got it off cooldown. But now you don't have it for Signal, so it's like... There you go, using it for yourself when your whole team's on fire. Could have used it for your team and just swift stepped out of there. Nice. Nice. Probably can use your ult here. I might use the ult here. I probably would have done the ultimate a little earlier. That's kind of upsetting that your Ana just got coalescence. Yeah, literally Moira, 1 health, decided to just fade in the back line behind all of you guys.
Protecting.
Like, after she popped her thing here,
Let the Kitsune guide you.
you pop this, and you, like, don't see the Moira here, you probably had to assume that she would only be back here. And if you did this, you probably could have went back, saved your Ana, you know, with a Suzu, because you had a Suzu. Killed the Moira, and then you would be up in this fight. Instead, she kills your Ana. You have to be aware of that, so now you have to be on, like, heal mode. And it looks like they basically are winning because, you know, you lost your Ana and you didn't realize. Two big things I'm seeing is we're using our Suzu for ourselves primarily. And the second thing I'm seeing is we're not paying close enough attention to our other support and keeping them tabs on them and what's happening with them most of the time. So a lot of the times your other support will literally go down just because you don't know where they are, what they're doing, and what their health state's at and things like that. So kind of like game sense on your other support and using that Suzu, that utility for yourself primarily. The stick drift is like the third thing I'd say needs work. Just because stick drift kind of makes it hard to play, you know, to your max capabilities if you're on controller. Nice. Big pick. Big pick. There's literally stairs. Rather than trying to do what you're doing here, there's stairs. You can probably do the same thing in here to get to basically where you want to be. Lag, I'm assuming. Yeah, lag. Loading in. Back to the team.
My gift to you.
Good answer. Here we are with another Suzu. When our Genji's on fire, needs a Suzu. Your Diva's on fire, needs a Suzu. We just love Suzuing ourselves and staying in aggressive positions, chat. You just need to do it less. It's really all you need to work on.
Hey.
Okay. Even here, right? You're playing way too close, way too frontline. Why are we not just back here doing the same thing? Because then you have this cover, and then you can, you know, teleport right back out. It's another Suzu down that the enemy team is able to have 13 seconds to punish.
Draw strength from nature. Activating self-destruct sequence. Initializing system.
Oh, look at that. We almost could have died because we didn't have Suzu.
Thank me later.
Probably could have teleported back to your team if you knew the Sigma 9 was happening. And then touch hard so that it wasn't a, just a loss from that. Alright.
4, 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Hey.
If your Ana could have handled the pressure, I might have liked to see some flank kunai thrown before we teleported out.
Now we're talking.
Here we are kind of frontlining. There it is, though. You swift step out without using the Suzu. That's good. Yep. NG. There we are, Suzuing ourselves when our Diva's 1 health. Like, the game sense is just kind of not there. Like, what are our other supports' health states at? We don't really know. Our Diva's kind of low. You know? You don't have anyone behind us now. We can't see anything happening. They could be blowing up our Diva right now. We have no idea. Oh, look, they did.
In the desert, none of you is ready. Get in there.
And because we have no Diva, now we basically have to give cart for free, because there's no way anyone's contesting a tank. Could have Suzu Diana, but we were late for the Suzu on her. So now you're going to be focused on healing primarily, because you don't have an Ana. Yeah, I probably would have waited to hold on to that, because it was a loss. There's no way you were turning that fight if you were the only healer there. Probably would have just calmed it back up because you have no heals. Which is unfortunate because you were the only reason that you had no heals. You could have saved your Ana with the Suzu. Nano Blade. Let's go, big Nano Blade.
Feels like sunlight, huh?
30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, again, like it's a lot. Okay, we're gonna play up here. That's fun.
Under my protection.
Don't know if that would be necessarily my place I would play if we're trying to hold here. I'd probably be playing over here just so I have more of a focus on the back line and I have high ground and I can see my whole team. Over here, yeah, you can see this, but you have limited sights on where the fight's primarily going to be happening, which is going to be around this pole. So I probably would have spent more time trying to actually think about where a good position would be for this fight. Good pick. Yeah, he's black holing. You might as well just shoot the Moira with some headshots. Yeah, Moira literally just carried, doing all the Moira things. Huge Moira picks, again, with a coalescence.
Well, that wasn't called for.
You all definitely lose this. Yeah, so 3 things I'd say we need to work on. We're Suzuing ourselves way too much, when we probably could just swift step out of places. We are not really keeping tabs on our other support, and so they're getting blown up on positions that we definitely could save them if we literally just knew what they were at and just focused on them a little bit more. And then our stick drift, so that we are able to aim and reliably shoot better. That is everything. Chat, I know it's a short stream, only about 35 minutes or so, but that was, I believe, the only thing we had. So, thanks everyone for coming out to another Dihon stream, and I will see you guys all in another one. Hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your night.